on inretrospectpodcast.com recently, I stopped doing the review show, and I got a lot of really nice feedback about the series as a whole, that had been running for 2 years, from some lovely people on Twitter and some emails and stuff like that. It was really fantastic to hear, and but I wanted to end it, and I explained why on the website, in the podcast itself. So I don't want to really get into that. But what I wanted to talk about was this new upcoming show that I've got, which is called Pause Continue, and that's going to be within Retrospect as well, because it's my label, and I feel, even if it wasn't, I feel that in Retrospect is probably the best place to host it as an outlet. I think it's completely unique, this Pause Continue show, and isn't really like anything that's being done in the field of podcasts at the moment. It's very unique in so much as it takes video games as a base concept, or a particular video game as a sort of starting point, and then sets that within a 5-month arc almost of podcasts, and extrapolates upon a point. So, as an example, and this isn't a game that we have any plans to feature, is a game called Skate, for example. Like, say for example, we played the game Skate. What we would do is we would play that for 2 months, and we would go quite deep into it. You got 60 days to kind of understand what Skate does and how it works and that sort of thing, and talk about it with in a great lot of detail, because a lot of reviews are done in 5 days. You either can't see absolutely everything a game has to offer you, or you might have to skip over a particular small little feature that you think is cool, but you don't really think it matters in the grand scheme of a review. So we would take Skate and we would play that for 2 months, and we would talk about it. And then for the next 3 months of this 5-month arc, we would take Skate as this base idea. So, for example, the idea of learning how to skate, because Skate is very, the difficulty curve is extremely steep for Skate. Learning how to ollie, okay, fine. Learning how to grind is a little bit harder, but really getting those tricks down and understanding how the controls really work is a very, very difficult thing to sort of wrap your head around, and that mirrors real life skateboarding, and that's what Pause Continue would be about. It would be about, could Skate 2 or Skate 3 or the original Skate, whatever, could it teach you how to skate? So that's the idea, and in these arcs, we hope to sort of explore that and be very creative, and kind of build up a bit of a community that plays the game for 2 months, because it's kind of like a book club for video games, and so it has that aspect. And then in the next 3 months, taking those ideas and making them something new, and being productive with a video game, making either a piece of art, or bettering ourselves, or all sorts all sorts of things, based on this one game. So that's kind of the idea. So as I say, Skate isn't really something that we're going to do, or at least we don't have plans to. But our first game is going to be, it's a great game, but the starting point for this first arc, which is a big deal. It's a big. This is the first arc. It's a bit scary. It's a bit daunting, and we'll talk about it on the show, obviously, what we're going to do. But I think that that's going to affect these vlogs in so much as I think these will become a little bit more about that subject and what I'm doing with Pause Continue, because it's going to get very, very hairy. Not in that way, in a way, way, like that, rather than like that. Yeah, and so I think I'm going to come back to this a little bit more. Needless to say, it's something I've never done in a very short amount of time, so a bit frightening. Anyway, keep up with what I'm doing in between these videos on twitter.com/XeroXeroXero. Come see me on XeroXeroXero.wordpress.com if you're not already here, if you're on the YouTubes. And and come and check out inretrospectpodcast.com. So we've got tons of stuff on there. Yeah, okay, well, speak to you all later.